Thanks, Phil.
Hello, everyone, and welcome. We are so excited for Nutritional Frontiers University, our webinar series. I'm your host today, Jamie Dorley. I am the CEO and owner of Nutritional Frontiers. We're going to make your world and the world healthy. I'm
Nice.
so excited. I have my favorite speaker, and she's zooming in all the way from Tyrone, PA. Does everyone know where Tyrone, PA is? If you
No,
see a sign that says the end of the world, it says Tyrone 5 miles. So,
it's 10 miles, Jamie. Get it
oh,
right.
10 now. We'll keep pedaling to keep that zoom going out there. So
Yes,
we're really
get the hand.
excited. Dr. Tracey Stroup is our director of education. She's a naturopathic doctor, and she's done a tremendous job not only with our team at Nutritional Frontiers, but she's got such a generous heart, and she's been helping so many people. She created Beyond the Blood Work, which has been our most sought after online training course. So if you have not taken Beyond the Blood Work, you need to sign up for it immediately. That will help you with not only reading blood work, but looking for optimal levels. And she's hosting our webinar series, and she's one of our keynote speakers at our professional training event coming up right here, April the 10th through the 12th in San Key. If you've not secured your seat yet, they are going quickly. You can go to nutritionalfrontiers.com and check out our event. So, welcome, Dr. Tracey. How we doing?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me back. I'm excited about this webinar. I'm super excited about April. I cannot wait. It's going to be such an epic event. We have some really amazing speakers lined up, and I think the topic is just it's key for the time, right? Our whole theme that this year is evolution of. And so this one is chronic disease and complex patients. So we're taking it 2 to 5 steps up from any place else we've been, and we have some new and exciting speakers that are coming. So can they attend it virtually, Jamie? It's not the same, sister. You got to show up. Is Jamie frozen again, Phil? Do you need to step in or MC light?
I think he is stepped or he is frozen yet. It will
Okay,
be
back.
streamed. Hmm.
Okay.
I'm frozen in many different forms. So, keep going, Dr. Tracey. We're getting questions already. Can they attend the conference virtually?
I have no idea. Can they just?
Yes.
Okay, thanks.
Hmm.
Can you? So,
$99.
all right. So you can sign up on the website. You want to go to nutritionalfrontiers.com, click the education and events tab, and go sign up for that. It will sell out if you're going to attend live. It sells out within weeks when we post it. So, in this year, are we allowed to talk about the speakers yet?
Yes,
We
yes,
are?
yes. Yeah.
Okay. So I'm super excited because one of my incredible colleagues in the whole integrative oncology world is going to be there, Dr. Nathan Goodyear. And so this is a huge thing. He is in the forefront of all the newest and latest therapeutics that are coming down integrative oncology. I know, Angie, wow, you got to come, girl. I can't wait to see you there. So if you can get there, it's an easy flight. It's a great resort. And then Dr. Lisa Cope, she's going to be there too.
Oh my gosh. I've been working with Dr. Lisa Coach since she got started in functional medicine in the early 2000s. It's been 25 years. I
Yeah.
just visited her facility called Spectra Wellness. Me and Christine stopped by and we got the impromptu tour with Dr. Coach and her team and actually videotaped it. And her facility is incredible.
Mhm.
She got the in body was like an afterthought. It was like a paper clip in the corner. She had red light therapy. She's got ozone, hyperbaric oxygen. She had something look like a space capsule. I mean,
Yeah, that's stage, but yeah.
yeah, unbelievable. And her specialty has always been mitochondrial dysfunction, right? And she's, really sharing all the things about the mitochondria like you were. That's not just the powerhouse of the cell, right? How these cells can talk and duplicate and the whole, entanglement with the particles and really excited. And then she's going to really set the stage for Dr. Richard Silva, the evolution of metabolic syndrome.
Yeah.
And that's what I love about the event, Evolution of Functional Medicine, innovative solutions for the complex patients. We are talking about this, Tracey, like the old days of working out for 4 weeks and eating good, they're over,
They
right?
are never. Yeah, the body has changed a lot. Metabolically, it can't recover as much. So it's not as easy it was. I mean, I would give anything for someone to walk in my door and be like, I just want to lose weight. I'd be like, great, that'd be great. But that's not what happens.
No, and I think the toxicity load that people have been exposed to over the last 3 generations has really been an endocrine disruptor, right?
Hmm.
So the hormone system is disrupted, the brain's disrupted, the heart, the liver, the gut. There's so many pieces of this puzzle that the toxic load has really started to completely change
Yeah.
the metabolic rate of humans.
Yep.
And it's sad. However, we're not going to quit. We're not going to give up. We're going to look for the experts in the world like yourself and Dr. Len Brantzwitz, Dr. Lisa Coates, Dr. Maribel Verdialis. This speaker lineup is our best ever. And, we're always making this better. Our events are evolving. So I've never been more excited about an event. One of the coolest ones is the evolution of quantum physics, right? Energetic medicine with Dr. Len and Christine Genevieve showing how, Einstein said this years ago, right? Frequency is medicine, right?
Yeah.
And
Future of medicine is frequency. Hmm.
yeah, and really excited. But I think it really starts with the toxicity that we're exposed to. You look at the research in 1982, the U.S. Environmental Protection Agency showed that 100% of people had these top five toxins in their adipose tissue. And we're going to give you strategies to handle that. So look at his schedule, Tracy. Let's run down this. We're going to do on Thursday night, we're going on the pirate ship. So, that is actually 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. Friday morning, we're going to be doing the opening. And then we're going to go right into Dr. Lisa Coach, one of our featured speakers. And then we're going to hit on, like we said, Dr. Richard Silver, go to lunch. And, sometimes people get a little sleepy after lunch. So what are we going to do to them after lunch?
Going to increase their testosterone with the evolution of men's health and Bob Rakowski because you're going to have to be awake to understand what he says. He's the fastest talker in the world. You got to put him on like 0.5x when you play it back.
And then if your libido is getting down a little bit
You
in the
live it out.
afternoon, we have Dr. V, Dr. Mary Belverdi Alice talking about the evolution of women's health. So really exciting first day. And then I really love the panel discussion, right? Looking about metabolic syndrome and having all of the speakers up there with a special guest. And I love that because they can share the ideas. It's going to be a question and answer session. So, folks, if you've not been to these are interactive events. These are not speakers that fly in for a presentation and leave. You guys are so generous with your time and you're able to share protocols, talk about challenging patients. What are some of the different therapies that you guys use? So, super cool.
Yeah, so come in because your whole staff can come for one package price. Yeah, hotels are very affordable. It's a beautiful resort. So it's probably one of my favorite events. I mean, I like all the events, but I do like to go to Florida and get out of Pennsylvania since we're getting pounded with snow. But tonight we're going to be talking about detox and how many practitioners, if you can just put it in the chat bot, are either referring clients into our NF Global Detox group, or if you are a participant here, just comment that you're in it. If you're not in it, we will get you in the group. We are close. I mean, Phil, I haven't counted how many people were in that Facebook group, but we were close to 300. And that was a super huge success considering we launched January 15th. And here's the thing, guys, if you are a practitioner and you're sending people in, it's go green. So anybody can join at any time. They just start at guide one. All the videos are organized. They go to guide two, which is going to be happening tomorrow. That's going to be remove. We're going to be talking about the next phase, what that means. And if you are a practitioner, you have an affiliate code. So we have done the entire media kit for you, which means when you receive the email and the media kit, you can take those digital assets, you can post them to your page, you can put them in your email. We wrote all the content for you. And then don't forget to tell your patients to go to the Nutritional Frontiers website. They sign up for a patient account and they have to put your referral code in. And so every time they purchase off the NF site, you get the credit. You're going to get the 35%. You don't have to carry product. This is such an easy way. And listen, I'm a practitioner. When I came to Jamie and Christine and I was like, hey, I have this idea. How fast do you think we can throw this together? Well, Phil and Brittany and I threw it together in like a week and a half. And I was like, I'm a practitioner. I know I don't always have time to do these things. I don't have time to create groups. I don't have time to create the graphics. But if we can get this whole team together, maybe we could go get all of our NF practitioners collectively. and get them to refer their patients in and their clients. I'll do all the videos, and Jamie and Christine, and we'll be in there moderating and commenting and answering. You guys just push people our way, and then you get the credit. So that was the whole point behind it, was to help you guys help your patients obviously get better, get a good jump start in January, something organized, but also to help you gain a little bit of revenue. And that was kind of the heart behind it. We just wanted to do something collectively to say thank you to you guys and to try to really help you launch, 2026 with a great out of the gate program.
Yeah, and part of our mission to make the world healthy is making your world healthy. And we want to do that mind, body, and spirit. And we also want to help you improve your patient outcomes and your practice profits, right? So when we create programs like this, the most exciting part is the community we're building,
Mhm.
right? You need, what's that old saying? You want to go fast, go alone. You want to go far, go together. And that's part of it. You have the confidence now. You can lean on Dr. Tracy, myself, Christine, Joe, Len, the entire team. You have access to everybody, plus each other. And we want to continue to build this community because we're really going after some monsters, right? The pharmaceutical industry, the allopathic medical model, the insurance-based medical model. So we really need to build the community together and have programs like this that will build the clinical conviction and continue to get results because that's where we create momentum, right? And that's where it becomes a lot of fun because we're all in this together, pulling in the same direction, and then nobody can stop us.
Yep, absolutely. Well, I just added 30 people to the group. So every day, just so you guys are aware, this is your great global detox. There's 264 members in this group. Again,
I,
I'm
I just did that, Tracy.
Oh,
That's why I
thanks,
said,
buddy. That's why it
yeah.
said it was approved. I was like, wait, where'd they go? So everything's organized into these guides, which is great because when your clients come here, they receive instructions on how to use the group. There's a welcome video, everything. They can just go right through these guides, and everyone's like, how do I mark them complete? So when you watch the video, underneath the video will be a little block, it says mark complete, and you just mark each one of these complete. Now I'm an admin, so I don't have those tickers, but you will. And then every guide is organized here on the left, guide one, reset week one, remove week two, and so on and so forth. So easy, guys. It's all done for you. And I continually point your patients and clients back to you. I always say, go back to the practitioner referred you in. If you have questions, tag the practitioner referred you in. So sorry if they're blowing up your social, but I want to make sure that you're the expert, and that your clients are coming back to talk to you about their health. At the end of the global detox, we're going to point them back to you to continue their health. We're going to recommend they make an appointment with you and not just float off. I mean, this is a jump start. It's going to give them a good base. So you don't have to talk to them about nutrition, hydration, movement, sleep, elimination. Like, we take care of that. We teach them about detox. We teach them about how to rebuild themselves, but they're going to need the guidance from you.
Yeah, that's a great part is you got all the support. Simply go to the website, nutritionalfrontiers.com. You have the Facebook page. You have our webinar series. We do Instagram lives. We have local VIP dinners that we're still doing. And then we have our national events, the big one in April in Florida so we can get out of the cold and go to the beach. And then when we're tired of the heat in the summer, down south, come up in Pittsburgh in October. So you have plenty of support. Our website has a tremendous amount of education on there. Plus, we just launched the NF Chat GBT, right, which will help you with maybe some of the patients if you're having some challenges. Dr. Tracy's program. So you have a tremendous amount of support for your efforts.
Yeah, absolutely. And we know, Jamie, today in Pennsylvania at the Capitol, just so everyone's aware, Robert Kennedy was there at the Capitol. So speaking on the behalf of, just retaining medical health rights, the new food guide pyramid, which I think we should show them our new pyramid. And this is stuff that you guys can use with your clients because I think there's a lot of confusion out there. People don't know where to go. I just had a conversation on social media. It's never a conversation. If you make a comment, you will offend 20 people. So someone put out that, meat is bad, it's highly acidic. And that's fine. They can follow whatever regimen they want, whatever works for their body. But I think these blanket statements
Generalize, right? It's
don't work.
generalization. Yeah.
Yeah, they don't work because everybody's different. But the one thing that we knew from the beginning is when they turned that food pyramid upside down and they made carbohydrates the most essential part at the bottom, we knew that was wrong all those years ago. And now they've reversed it. They've put the dairy, protein, fats, everything on top with very minimal carbohydrates. I always tell people you have essential fatty acids, you have essential amino acids. You don't have essential carbohydrates. They are glucose, they're forms of sugar, but you guys, your clients and patients are going to need guidance on this because they're going to be confused. I mean, for how long now did we really think cereal was a good choice to start our day? I mean, we were raised in that. So it's a new time. You're going to need an explanation.
Yeah, I want to go through this a little bit because this is when I was in grade school, right? In the 70s, grade school and then junior high. And we were indoctrinated with this, right?
Oh, yeah.
And, years later, I looked this up and I says, well, who created this? United States Dairy Association, right?
Yeah.
And, when they created it and have, 6 to 11 servings of starchy carbohydrates, you would have to be an elite Olympic athlete, training 4, 5, 6 hours a day to be able to store that because your body's capacity to store carbohydrates is very limited. You can
Mhm.
store hundreds of thousands of calories of fat, but carbohydrates, maybe 400 grams, depending on how much muscle you have and glycogen stores. But people cannot tolerate this. So what happened in the 70s, a few things. One is the food pyramid came out. What else happened? The invention of microwaves, right? So microwaves, the old TV dinners, right? You would put it in the oven,
Yeah.
fast foods, and high fructose corn syrup. They actually told people, right, that fat was the enemy. Even though up in New York, where I grew up, Dr. Robert Atkins, his model was the exact opposite, and he was ridiculed for years. But he was really trying to prove with his research, not to eat pork rinds and all that stuff, but people took the wrong way. His theory was that without an insulin spike, you won't store fat. The fat is not the component you need to be concerned with. It's the insulin spike. And when you get the biggest insulin spike, starchy carbs,
Yeah.
sugars, high fructose corn syrup. So all this did was make our country really fat. And then they transitioned it to not only this, but even worse, Tracy, was, hey, not only that, we're going to go fat free. And
Yeah.
what are we going to have instead of fat? Artificial flavorings,
Mhm.
sugar, right? Carbohydrates, and extra salt and chemicals. So then it transitioned to 2002. This is from Tufts University. All right, watermelon. So they did was they assigned a score to
This is
foods.
my favorite one, the Lucky Charms. It's better than ground beef. I mean, who knew? They are magically delicious, but I mean, seriously.
Yeah, Lucky Charms. The third one, I love when people say, they come in at a wellness center. I ask them, they want to lose weight. And I says, what do you have for breakfast? Cereal. And I says, you do? Yeah. I says, well, you don't want to eat that. Well, I have skim milk with it. That's always their crutch. And
Yeah.
this is, well, let me show you a book in here. It's actually called Serial Killer, right? And it has a bowl of Fruit Loops on it. And it shows in the book how the introduction of cereal for breakfast has made our country fat and diabetic. So when you
Yeah.
see, look at number two, not a fresh peach, but a
Can't.
canned peach, which is loaded with syrup and sugar. Cheerios, right? And then you go down the list. Not only is it not almonds, it's chocolate covered almonds. That's better than an almond, right? So this is some Tufts University. I'm not sure who was doing the research on this, but why Lucky Charms would be right after sweet potato chips, not sweet potatoes, but the chips.
Yeah. It was probably the Secretary of Health in the prior presidency that was doing this. Really confused. So, yeah, so confused all the way around. But
So
yeah, this
one of
they
one of
made
my favorite things you always say is don't count calories,
count
count
count.
chemicals. And these are chemically loaded food-based products. There's
Mhm.
no junk food. It's either junk or food, and this is mostly junk.
Yeah, that's always my favorite saying of yours. There's no such thing as junk food. It's either junk or food. So here we are in 2008.
We're before our time. Can you believe it,
I
right?
know.
So any pioneers are always first ignored, then they're laughed at, then they're ridiculed,
Mm,
then they're attacked, and then
yeah,
people are curious, and then they jump on board. And that's okay, right? Because we've been saying the same thing since I got involved in nutrition back in 1991 when I graduated from Slippery Rock University. I learned a long time ago that food is information. So what you eat tells your body what to do. So if you're following the old food pyramid with all that starch and carbs, and then you follow Tufts University, you're telling your body to store fat, crave more, and be super inflamed. So we're promoting a cleansing program because what happens with the fat cells is they swell up,
yeah,
right? You don't increase your number of fat cells as an adult. They just get really swollen. How can you tell? Your belt gets tight. Your socks will have a line in your skin because you're holding more water. I always do the test of putting my hand around my wrist. If it's can't get it all the way around, then I ate something that was pro-inflammatory. It could even be something good, you never know, right? You can do these little tricks and tests on yourself to see what did I just eat. You ever get your fingers where they feel like swollen?
yeah.
It's like,
Hmm.
wow, what did I eat to do that, right? So we created this great pyramid of health back in 2008 with yourself and Dr. Bob Rakowski and our team. And as you always said, you can't build your health on quicksand.
Right. It's got to be on a strong foundation. Nutrition, hydration, movement, sleep, elimination, emotional, spiritual wellness. All of that matters first. And then the interesting thing about detox, because we use that word like our body can't do it on its own and it needs something. It can when given all these things. And I covered this in the reset in the detox group where we went through this great pyramid of health and talked about the products that are represented or can fill these gaps that we're talking about: prebiotics, probiotics, enzymes, macro and micronutrients, essential fatty acids, the phytonutrients. And then on top, you have what's called condition specific, right? The thing that you need. Or you can say this is our emotional barrier. I think that's probably too tiny for our mind, body, and our mind and soul. But all of these things lead up, but it all starts with what you put in your mouth, the lifestyle you live, the thoughts you think. All of that matters the most. At the end of the day, you can't outrun your fork and you can't outrun your thoughts.
No, and I know people always say to me, "Oh, well, the air is polluted and there's chemicals in this." I says, look at the research. All the way back to 1982, right? US EPA xenobiotic toxicity study. It took the adipose tissue of the gluteus maximus, so the fat off your butt, not that you have any, right? And they tested over 33,000 people. And what did they find? The top five chemicals: plastics, solvents, dioxides, perfumes. 100% of people show these in their fat cells. They are
Mhm.
fat soluble toxins, folks. You can't remove them from the body unless you have the chelators that we have in things like the greens and the ultimate shake and the remove complete and the live complete. So, do you think it's gotten better or worse in the last 40 plus years?
Well, so much worse. And so I hope from this detox group that people get the idea that a daily detox is necessary. A daily enhancement supplement of your natural detox pathway, the bowls, right? The bowel, the urinary, the lungs, the lymph, the skin. Those are your elimination pathways, but they need fuel like anything else. They're not just open portals of exit. They get clogged up, they get low on energy, they can't detoxify. And that's where these products come in, especially Ultimate Shake and Proline Greens wrapped in one. That's like the perfect combination. It covers everything in this pyramid. So super duper important.
Yeah, and you got to realize, right? This is a very nutrient dependent process, right?
Yeah.
Think about something that's really toxic. It's like your garage is really jammed up with stuff. You got to clean it out. It's going to take a full day or a weekend to get that initial cleaning done. However, once it's clean, it's a little easier each weekend and each month to keep it clean. The same way I've always told my kids, they don't listen, of course, but the best time to clean your room is when it's clean. Yeah. So same with our bodies. You do the initial cleanse, let's get it cleaned up. We got to limit or eliminate our exposure to toxicity. And most of the toxins that you're exposed to, folks, is by choice that you ingest. The water, the food, the over-the-counter medications, the prescriptions, even the really poor quality supplements. And then you had mentioned like the emotional thoughts, right? The toxic relationships. These are all real that you have to have a strategy in place. So I love doing at least one shake every day. And I highly recommend that you do those, your staff does them, your family does them. It's a lot easier to talk to your clients and patients when you're doing them. We call it the Shake a Day Club.
Yep. I like it because it's a full multivitamin as well. I'm not great at always remembering to take my supplements because they're usually out on the counter. If I don't keep them on my desk, then I don't take them. And then if they're on my desk, I knock them off my desk and then I get upset about it. So when the detox program, when we started it, I was like, this is great. And I have to tell you, like, I feel so much better. I also have some tricks with the ultimate shake. I make that
Uh-oh.
into
Let's hear it.
pancakes. Yeah, well, my grain-free muffins that I make with banana,
Oh
peanut
my
butter,
God, that was delicious.
the eggs, and then I put a scoop of either the chocolate ultimate shake or a scoop of the whey protein powder in there. I mix that up. I put that into muffin tins, and then you can add blueberries or I add chocolate chips, and then I add organic coconut flakes on top. And it has to be semi-sweet chocolate chips. The milk chocolate's too sweet. But I mean, those are ways that you can get those nutrients in. Same thing with the pancakes, right? I mean, I use about 200 milliliters of Pete's organic egg whites, one whole egg, and a scoop of the pineapple coconut ultimate shake. So everyone's like, "Oh,
Ooh.
chocolate." I was like, you don't understand. You can make the best pancakes out of the pineapple coconut. So you just put those in the pan then after you mix it up, just like pancakes. It's the same consistency. And you can add your blueberries, your fruit toppings. I like to do coconut flakes and a few chocolate chips and then organic maple syrup. So it's real food. You know what I mean? So you're still getting that sweet tooth. You're still getting your macro micronutrients. You're getting the detox pathways. You have to learn how to eat healthy because we've been taught to eat poorly. We've been taught that fast, quick, cheap, all of those things are what people look for with food. And that's why supersize me, that's why these fast food restaurants back in the day, the supersize craze, it trickled into everything. So all of a sudden you were getting the giant Diet Coke with your supersized Big Mac and everything else. But then you went to the supplement store, Jamie, and all of a sudden I was getting 450 pills for $7.99, but I didn't know why I was burping fish oil all day. So the supersize mentality really reduced the quality of what we were taking in, but increased the quantity of what we were taking in. And when you do that with food, that's going to equate inflammation, fat, metabolic dysfunction, all of that. And the guy did supersize me, did die. So I'll send you the recipe, Fritz.
Yeah, she'd love to see your recipes. We do have the recipe guide. If you go to Nutritional Frontiers website on the patient and professional guides, we have a recipe guide. We're always looking for new recipes. So if you're at home and you're tinkering in the kitchen and you come up with something great, let us know. One of my favorite recipes is that I like our Super Shake peanut butter.
Yeah.
That has basically no carbohydrates, right? And I mix 2 scoops of that to get the 40 grams of protein. You get about 6 grams of fiber and about 6 grams of MCT oil. Then I do 2 scoops of the chocolate greens. So I get the Reese's peanut butter cup shake, and I do that every morning. Sometimes I use the ultimate shake, but then I'll take the multivitamin separately. But I like that one for me personally, and I take it on the road with me. Now I
Yeah.
got the packets of the Ultimate Shake Plus. I got the chocolate greens and the peanut butter super shake, and it tastes great, folks. There's no reason why you should feel like this is a punishment. But I want to go back to the fast food for a minute.
Mm-hmm.
If you notice in the last few years, food has become very expensive. So especially if you eat out, typically what's the breakfast cost you eat out? 15, sometimes $20, right? You get a coffee or a juice or something with it, it's going to be $20. You know, one of our shakes to get the 90 essential nutrients to change and shift your metabolism, to get your prebiotic, probiotic, and enzymes, which are in the greens, to get your macro and micronutrients, to get your phytonutrients and your essential fatty acids, to get that all in one shake for under $5, Tracy, is unheard of. So
Mm.
normally you pay for convenience, right? A bottle of water is $3, a gallon's $3, but not in this case. Even the packets retail for under $8, right?
Mhm.
So think about that compared to what you would pay to go out to eat, and you're not getting all those nutrients in. So I can't stress the importance of how imperative it is to get a shake a day in you every morning. Let me give you an example. There was a guy that was doing our retirement plan a few years ago, and he came in right after the holidays for the new enrollment, and he was a little swollen. He wasn't a really huge guy, but he said, "Look, I want to lose some weight. I'm just after the holidays, I'm bloated." So I gave him the ultimate shake and greens, right? Exactly what we're talking about. And I sent him on his way. I never thought I'd hear back from him. He sent me a letter. I still have it. And the letter was so heartfelt, and it felt so good. And here was the summary of it. He said, "I've done a lot of other shakes on the market. I've never had the results like this." He goes, "I was very skeptical. And my results were I lost 30 pounds in 30 days."
Wow.
He
Of
said,
course he did, because he's a guy.
"Yeah, well, I know. It's a lot easier for
Thought
guys."
about stop drinking soda and I lost 27 pounds. I just thought about it. I didn't even do it. So it works.
But the example was that he said, he says, "I can't believe this helped me so much." And when we talk about nutrient dependent process, think about the liver working in four phases, right? Phase one and two of the liver, then you have the kidneys and bladder clearance, and you have the colon clearance. So there's really four phases of detoxification. So the old water fast and juice fast, they
Yeah.
don't work.
Hard. Well, they're hard on your system too, because here's what happens. You have a really unhealthy person, and then all of a sudden they're like, I want to lose weight. I'm going to fast. And so they're already nutrient deficient and toxic. They fast for 3 days. Their body doesn't have enough stored energy in the form of nutrition to fuel those processes of detox, and they get sick. And that's usually what happens. Now, I'm not against intermittent fasting and water fast for the appropriate person at the appropriate time. We use those a lot in cancer protocols, but prior to the fast, we are emphasizing nutrient deficiencies and bringing those up. We are opening elimination pathways. Like there's so many things that you have to do. So with these products, what they do is for anybody is they fill those nutrient gaps and they help promote what you were saying, Jamie, phase 1 through phase 3 detox of the liver. So they can take those fat soluble toxins, and they can convert them into water soluble, and that can be excreted out the back door. And when you optimize all those phases of the liver, you don't get those hercs. You don't get that sick feeling, the headaches, the fatigue, the body aches, the detox flu, as it's called.
Yeah, and people are addicted to the chemicals in the food. These
Mm.
biochemists are paid big dollars to get you addicted, right? The old commercial, you can't eat just one Lay's potato chip. People with Doritos licking their fingers, right? I need my Mountain Dew. You ever hear someone say mine, mine, right? And people are addicted to these. It could be candies, it could be any of this junk. So it does take a little bit of time. I'll give you an example of why this is so challenging for people. And there's a movie called, you mentioned Super Size Me, the original. There's one called Food Inc., right? The narrator was Katie Couric, and thanks, Phil, for pulling up the kit. We're going to go through this in a second. And it was interesting in the documentary, Tracy. What they did was they gave mice the ability to get high fructose corn syrup or cocaine, right? And what they found is that over time they gravitated to the high fructose corn syrup. And the conclusion was it's more addicting than the most addictive drugs. So part two of the experiment was, all right, let's see how strong this addiction is to high fructose corn syrup. Each time they took the high fructose corn syrup, they give them a little electrical shock. And what they found is the mice would continue to go to the high fructose corn syrup until they were literally cooking on the inside. And then
Wow.
someone says, well, people wouldn't do that. I go, actually, they do. They are inflamed. What do you think all these chronic diseases are? They're inflammatory diseases. People do the same thing. Why? It's so addicting. So it does take a couple days. You may not feel great. That's why you need the nutrients to help you through this process. But we got the nutrients, all the nutrients you need on this program right here. So let's walk through these because people may just say, oh, it's another greens, it's another shake. Not correct. 90 essential nutrients. Let me highlight a couple of the really specialty nutrients. One, our vitamin C in here is non-corn, non-GMO vitamin C, made from acerola cherries. Most vitamin C is made from corn. We use active folate, which is the active form of folic acid, fourth generation. Amodian, which is the most bioavailable oral glutathione on the planet. Explain why glutathione is so important, Tracy.
It is the major antioxidant that reduces oxidative stress and reverse oxygen species. It's super important, and it's also what homocysteine is converted into. Homocysteine is a waste product of methylation. Methylation is how we renew and regenerate our cells, how we create ATP. It's kind of like the front end energy cycle. And so there's always a waste product from good production. That waste product is homocysteine with enough NAC and B6, you can convert that on your own in the methionine cycle to glutathione. But a lot of people have MTHFR mutation. A lot of people are not optimizing B vitamins, they're not eating correctly, and they're not getting enough glutathione. So you can test this. You can look at blood work and look at homocysteine levels. You can look at a simple CBC with differential and see if somebody's a poor methylator. That's all in my course, by the way, shameless plug. But anyway, the
What
glutathione
course is that?
beyond the blood work.
And where do they find that
They
course?
can find that in the NF website under education. So when you have somebody that has high homocysteine or low methylation potential, glutathione is something good that you can put in until you correct what needs to be corrected. And so we have a really delicious glutathione that you can take. I know that you know that you guys were doing shots at the one event of the glutathione.
Shot. So shot. That's Hurricane Harriet, the shot queen.
Harriet was passing out the shots of glutathione, so I was like, oh, okay. They look delicious.
Yeah, and look at the ultimate shake. People just kind of gloss over it. Oh, it's got vitamins and minerals. No, these are active vitamins. That is the most bioavailable form in the body, so your body can actually use those vitamins. We use Trax covalent bonded chelated minerals. Why? Because they're much more bioavailable. They actually get in the cell and do something. Minerals are very unstable. So we use bisglycinates, for example. If magnesium is the mineral, we use two glycine molecules to hold that together, kind of like you had a ball in your hand. If you only use one glycine, it's not bioavailable. It's unstable. But when
Yeah.
you use bisglycinate, it holds it together. And we use these in our women's complete, our ultimate shake, our men's complete. Iron bisglycinate. I know you had Candace's friend years ago was suffering from anemia,
Yep.
and she went to her doctor. Maybe you remember that case?
Yeah, she was pregnant and she was anemic. We put her on Women's Complete. It was a game changer because of the Ferrochel. It worked great for her. That's all she took. So,
Yeah, and that is the most bioavailable form of iron in the world. It's an
mhm.
iron bisglycinate. Two glycine molecules hold the iron in place. That way it gets in the cell, does not upset your stomach, does not make you constipated, and actually does something. So in 6 weeks, a pregnant woman with anemia went away, not only by the symptoms, but also by the blood work. So when you
Mhm.
look at the Ultimate Shake, these have the right vitamins and minerals and forms in there. People will feel a difference. Trust me. Have your people go on the Ultimate Shake and Greens for 1 month for breakfast. Follow our food program and see what happens in 30 days.
Yep. Great stuff. I mean, and I went over that in the group. So we do make it easy for your clients to understand what they're doing and why. For all the people listening, I put my recipes in the chat and I'm going to hand them over to Phil to update the recipe guide. So guys, don't think this has to be hard. It doesn't have to be hard. It's health is pretty simple. We have really messed it up. Eat real food, organic, non-GMO. If it reproduces life on its own, it'll reproduce life in you. Make sure that you're optimizing all of your nutrients. And you're not going to get that from food. It's impossible. Our food sources are very depleted on how they're grown. A lot of them, they're picked before vine ripeness, so you're not getting the full ripeness, the full benefit. So you have to supplement. And I think that was in JAMA. When was that, Jamie, where they recommended a multivitamin?
June 28th, 2002. You were a baby, right? It's over 24, it's like 23, 24 years ago. And what they said was this was done at Harvard, right? What they found is all chronic disease is linked to low vitamin and mineral deficiency, regardless of age and health condition.
Hmm.
They recommended a multivitamin for everybody, regardless. However, the challenge is that they did not tell people which multivitamin to take. And I guess I froze.
That's okay. We could still hear you.
Oh, well, that's good. You can hear me, but not see me. Everyone's dream came true.
We can see you, just
Oh, okay.
frozen in our minds.
No, seriously. So this was done at Harvard University. And the conclusion of the study was regardless of health condition, age, and what was going on with the person, sex didn't matter. Everyone needs a multivitamin. The challenge was they didn't tell them the difference between Nutritional Frontiers and some of the top brands out there versus
Yeah,
Centrum.
right.
And the most expensive vitamin, folks, tell your patients this. The most expensive vitamin is the one that doesn't work and adds toxicity to them. We
Yeah.
have a great flyer on our in our professional training guide talking about true quality, comparing our vitamin versus Centrum. So you got to help educate your patients so they become empowered and they make the right decisions.
Yep. Yeah, and it's important. I mean, I know that everybody doesn't want to talk about price with supplements. And honestly, the number one conversion factor when someone would choose a supplement was price, probably about 5 years ago. Today, it's convenience. That's the number one determining factor if someone buys from you or not, is if you have it available and you have it instantly available. So use the instant gratification era to your advantage. Make sure that they know how to shop the Nutritional Frontier site. Make sure they know your code so that they can set up an account. Make sure you have these in your clinic because they will go down the street and somebody else will have something worse for them. They're going to go buy that or buy something off Amazon and then come back to see you in 3 weeks and say your protocol didn't work when they're holding their hefty bag of supplements that they didn't buy from you because you didn't tell them. You have to tell them. They don't know. They don't know it's unethical to text you and say, hey, I got this from someplace else. How do I take it? Here's your response. I don't know the quality of that product. So, what I would do with it is walk to the garbage can and throw it out and buy this one from me and paste a link. That's what you need to do.
I saw the basket of shame on here, right? From
Yeah,
Paulina's crew.
Paulina. Yep. Yep.
Yeah, it's a great way to help your patients and clients understand it's not okay to take this. This is actually causing you more harm. If there's colors, dyes, additives, talcs, all these inferior forms and toxic forms. And that's
Yeah.
where you got to be able to read the labels. I have a great presentation on quality of nutrients. And I'm actually going to be going over some of those things at the next professional training event too. So you got to educate your people. You have to understand how to read the label. And it's not okay to finish the bottle. What they do at 7.7 Nutrition and we do that at the Wellness Center is you're not taking this home. You throw it in the garbage. Why? I spend 40 bucks on it. That's the
Same.
last time you'll ever spend 40 bucks on something that's not good for you.
That's
And
right.
price is what you pay, value is what you get.
That's
And the
right.
supplements aren't thousands of dollars, right? And work with the person's budget. Think about, years ago when I was working at Bally's Health Club, we would always get, back then it was they rented videos, right? Or people go out for drinks. People go and buy a Starbucks for 6, 7, 8, 10 bucks and don't think twice about it. All the high-end restaurants, you can't get a table in. The flights are booked. I'm going
Mhm.
to a hotel this weekend down by the beach. You can't get a room there. So people will spend money on what they think is going to help them or going to work. And that's
Yeah.
our job. I always tell people, give me 30 days and then let me know how you're feeling.
Yep. Remember, a little bit of poison every day is a lot in a month. It's a lot in 2 months. It's certainly a lot in a year. And if these people are investing money and they're trying to get healthier, they want to know the truth. You're not going to offend them. I had a client just last night. I actually shared my banana recipe with her. And so she was bringing up her supplements and she was going over the panels because I was like, what are you taking? Because she wasn't getting the results. And so she brought up certain supplements. I said, go to the panel, read me what form of folate is on there.
There
And
we go. Easy.
she went down and she said folate 666. She's like, "Ooh, I don't like that number." She was like, and I said, "Is there anything else next to it?" She said, "Folic acid." I said, "How much of that?" She said, 400 milligrams. I was like, "So you have a form that's bioavailable, but then you have a form for her that was toxic because she has MTHFR." So it was actually hurting her more than it was helping her. So that is something she wanted to know. Now I said, "How much did you pay for that?" And she was like, 18 to $25. I was like, "Do you understand that the B vitamins are the most expensive part of a supplement? And when they skimp on it, it's going to make that supplement cheaper." I was like, "So did you get what you paid for?" She's like, "Yeah, I did. I got an $18 supplement." I was like,
And
"Right."
that's why on our website, you'll see we have our PRTs, our patented research trademarked ingredients. And those ingredients are more bioavailable and they're the right forms that your body can actually utilize.
Right.
So, Phil, I'm not sure if you can pull that up on the website, the PRTs. It's under quality. All
Yep.
the research is there on this. So, there's a few examples. The easiest one's folic acid. What about B12, Trace?
Yeah, methylcobalamin, right? I
Yeah.
mean, you can have cyanocobalamin out there. There's all different types. The point being is make sure that when people say, "Can I use the supplements I'm taking?" You don't want to just be like, "No." I mean, I give my people opportunity. I understand they invested in them. And so I'll be like, "All right, well, let's just go through some of the labels." And most of the time, probably 99.9%, we are going to shelf those into the garbage can. And I would say, let's just shelf them over in the garbage can. Like in the garbage, I'm like, let's just throw them away. I was trying to be nice about it, but you don't want to take those ever. They're not good. They're not quality. And the other reason with the PRTs, during COVID, these were really important, Jamie, because
Hmm.
a lot of people didn't realize that it was hard to source raw ingredients. And when you started to reformulate to secure these, we knew that if they were patented ingredients, they couldn't change the raw ingredients in them. So it was like how you secured your brand during COVID over all these other brands that were skimping and cutting corners just to get their supplements out.
Yeah, when you look at it, I like your approach, right? A little more softer and subtle. If you have to build in some value and say, look, I understand this costs you a little bit of money, give them a free shaker bottle, give them the recipe book, give them the detox booklet. If you want to bundle things together and give them a little break on it, you can do those things. But really stress the importance of the right nutrients. Look at a lot of these vitamins and minerals or shakes that are out there. You look at the vitamin E, DL to alpha tocopherol. DL stands for lousy. So there's ways that you can help them understand the form determines the bioavailability, determines the result, and the toxicity. If the tablets are yellow or blue and they look cool, right? Not good. Those dyes, like you said, a little bit of toxicity each day adds
Yep.
up. There's the ferrocal right there, the iron bisglycinate. So you can click on any of those tabs right next to it, and it shows you all the research. So here's all the research on one ingredient, Tracy.
Yeah, it's amazing. So these really do, and they have patented research and trademark, they really do mean it. And they do have a step above other just common ingredients in products. So yeah, you can go to the big box stores, you can buy your cheaper brands, but you're going to get cheaper results.
The other point is, you can stop, Phil. Thank you. You look at the Ultimate Shake and Greens, right?
Mhm.
Two formulas. They cover the entire pyramid. If
Pyramid.
you went to the big box store or the retailers or even on Amazon, that may be 15 or 20 products, maybe
Right.
more.
Yeah.
We look at our GI Complete. If you broke those down individually, it'd be hard to find, but it'd be over $300 a retail plus 8 different products.
Yeah.
Nutritional Frontiers philosophy is rather than buying the 8 products for 300, buy one formulation for less than 100. So you got to use these examples, folks. It's on my PowerPoint for quality. If you don't have it, email us at Nutritional Frontiers. We'll get you a copy. These are great tools to show your clients the difference and help educate them. As I saw in my daughter's school, this was back when she was in kindergarten. I took her to class the first day. There was a sign right there when you walk in. It says, if you tell me, I'll probably forget. If you show me, I'll probably remember. You have to show them the educational tools that we created because when you do, it empowers them. Make copies to them, send them the PowerPoint, print them out. These are all ways you can get that person to become educated, because the educated consumer is empowered, informed, and they're going to make much better decisions, and in turn help not only you get better results, but help your practice out on the business side.
Yeah, absolutely. So Great Global Detox is going. We will get the PowerPoints to the people that want it, reach out. Who can they reach out to, Jamie, for those
Uh,
power?
Anybody in the office, or you can email me, Jamie@nutritionalfrontiers.com.
Everybody send your request,
Yeah, and I'll give you Tracy's cell number.
which I'm going to
814
change my.
9.
No, reach out to your rep as well.
Yeah.
Remember, they are your bridge between you and all this great information and great products.
Yeah, anyone in the office, you can call the 412-922-2566. You can email us, whatever it takes, folks. We'll get it for you.
Yep, there it is. Support at nutritionalfrontiers.com. All the inside sales team is in there. They'll help you. Make sure if you went into the Great Global Detox, reach out to support at Nutritional Frontiers. We will get you the media kit if you are a practitioner. If you're a layperson and you want to join, you can click the link and jump in there. You will need a practitioner code to order. There's lots of practitioners in there in your area, so find out who's in there. Make sure you make a welcome post. We'd love to get to know you. Tomorrow we're going into week 2, which is remove. And it's going to be exciting because we have a lot of things that we got to eliminate from our lives. We do. Yeah.
A lot of people, too. It's
I get a
okay.
list of people. Yeah. It's a good time to Facebook cleanse too. Like go through your friends list and be like, who are you?
Do I know you?
Yeah, do I know you? Why do you keep messaging me? Well, guys, thank you for attending tonight. Thanks for being here. Thanks for being part of our NF family. And Jamie, thanks for the great presentation. It's always good just to hear you talk. You never get the opportunity just to talk about your products and the quality and the passion behind it. As I always tell you, and I tell everybody, you're the best formulator in the business. Nobody
Oh, my
can think
gosh.
like you. Truly.
Oh, you froze up. Can you repeat that?
Nope, you only get it one time. That's it.
Just one.
That's it.
Well, thank you so much. As you guys can tell, we're having a lot of fun this year, right? That's our new theme for 2026, is to have fun, make our world and the world healthy, and really build our community, because, we really believe in our mission, and we want to simplify to multiply, right? Don't make this too complicated. Anytime the person comes in with these general statements, you got to be a little resistant and make sure they understand that. I had a doctor today, an MD, say to me, yeah, well, probiotics are creating problems, and the GI doctor is telling their patients not to take them. I go, did they mention sugar, dairy products, ho-hos, McDonald's,
Right.
sodas? No, they
Or the
pick on
PPI
probiotics.
that he just prescribed.
Yeah,
Some of those.
so we can talk all night about this, but folks, power is through education, and that's what we are committed to this year. We are here to help you in any way we can. Thanks to Dr. Tracy, our Director of Education, did an incredible job as always. Thanks to Philly Phil on the board. Thanks to Christine for all your support with these events. And thanks to our entire team at Nutritional Frontiers. We are here to help you make your world and the world healthy. Thanks, folks. Let's have a great month, a great detox, and God bless.
God bless. Thanks, everyone.